What's up, everyone? If you've been with us for a while or you just subscribed, I just want to say thank you for your support. I never thought I'd get subscribers. I just wanted to create helpful videos, so it's really cool to see so much support from you guys. But if you've been with us for a while, you may have noticed a couple of changes throughout the years. My camera equipment has remained the same for the most part, but the one thing I continue to invest in is audio. Audio to me is very important. I consider myself a bit of an audiophile. I always felt like I've tweaked my video setup to a point where I can consistently get good videos. The one department I feel like I struggle with the most is audio. To me, audio can make or break my videos. So I'll be going through a timeline of the different audio equipment I've used through the years, if they were hit or miss, and my latest addition to audio, the DJI Mic 2, and how it compares to everything that came before it. I use the mics to record the audio for the videos so you can hear how each mic sounds yourself and hear the progression of my audio journey. So when I first started back in 2014, my equipment of choice didn't matter. As long as it was free, I was never satisfied with my camera's audio and always wanted to do better. The audio equipment I had at the time was this blue Yeti mic. I purchased it back in 2012 for music production. Yes, I record my own music. I don't share it publicly, it's just a pastime I've been doing since middle school. I was just getting into video editing, so I wasn't comfortable with doing my voiceover work on the Yeti. Instead, I wanted a mic that could attach to my cameras directly. Luckily, I started YouTube with a Canon X810. For those unfamiliar with the X810, it has two XLR ports for audio mixing. It can be a line-in or a mic, and it's great. I just didn't have a mic, nor did I have the budget to purchase one. My dad, though, also happened to be into music production back in the late 80s, early 90s, and I happened to come across an XLR mic that he used to use back then. Talk about old, but hey, it worked. And not only did it work, the audio sounded really good compared to the camera's mic. So I felt like I was onto something with the XLR inputs on my X810, and that's the route I wanted to go. Around 2014-2015, Radio Shack was going out of business. I stopped at one of the Radio Shack's locations to check out their deals, and I purchased a Samsung CR88 wireless mic system. This unit was very bulky, and the receiver did require a power outlet, as you can see here. But once again, the sound provided was way better than my dad's old XLR mic, with the convenience of being wireless. There's a bunch of stuff going on with this UM1. So the receiver is good. However, the XLR wire going from the receiver to the camera is bad, so that's why I have it propped up like this. This CT7 belt pack is bad. I tried two mics, same results. Basically, when it connects to the transmitter, all you get is, and I'll play it for you. So the mic that came with the CR88, it can work with the transmitter, and so that's what I'm using to shoot this portion of the video. I'm trying to get it as close as I can to the setup that I used to use, but anyway. So when I had the CR88, everything was golden. The only issue was I was unable to shoot remote. I was basically tied to filming in my apartment office if I wanted to use the CR88, because remember, this required an external power source. I did have a way around this though. If I needed to shoot remote, I would just take my dad's old XLR mic since it draws its power from the X810. But even when shooting the apartment office, setting up the CR88 became too cumbersome and messy. So with my first AdSense check, I went to B&H's website and I purchased this Samsung UM1 kit with the CT7. This allowed me to essentially be free. Only one wire going from my lavalier mic to my belt pack. And the receiver was also portable and ran off of a 9-volt battery. So in terms of portability, this Samsung checked the box. I was shooting a congrats reel for a wedding, and I was able to pack all my camera and audio equipment into the small bag. Another bonus with the UM1 was that I could use the UM1 receiver with my CR88 mic like I'm doing now. However, I could not use the CT7, which is this belt pack, with my CR88 receiver. But that's as far as the pros go. The rest are all cons. For audio quality, the CR88 and my dad's old mic sounds way better. The UM1 produces a lot of audio clipping if I speak too loud. I tried to lower the mic's gain and you can barely hear anything. And there's also a noticeable hiss. On top of all that, there have been at least 3 times where my audio monitor shows the mic is working, but when I import the video to my PC and play it back, there is no audio through the entire video, requiring a reshoot from scratch.
At first I thought it was a camera, but the UM1 is the only mic I have that does this. As a matter of fact, it did it while shooting this segment the first time. This is my second attempt at reshooting the segment, and the range is terrible. If you stand more than 5 feet from the receiver, you lose signal. But I stuck with this mic because of portability and to free my hands while I do tech reviews. So from 2015 to 2017, this was my go-to mic for all my videos uploaded during those years.
The next mic I ended up purchasing was a Polson VM150. I was doing a skit and did some research about capturing audio from multiple actors. Some recommended the Polson as a decent budget shotgun mic, and it did okay with the skit I made. However, for YouTube, the audio doesn't sound clean. You can hear some humming and static noises with this mic, so I never used it on my YouTube videos. This mic just happened to be a cheap $20 mic I saw on Amazon one day. I picked it up mostly because of the stand, and I was really surprised with this mic. The sound quality is decent for what I paid. It was better than the Samsung UM1. And I had a stand so I can do my videos and keep my hands free with the setup. And if you go through some of my videos, you'll see I did use this mic quite a few times. So some videos uploaded between 2017 and 2019 were recorded using this mic. Just like my dad's old XLR mic, this receives its power from the XA10, so I don't need an amplifier with this mic. Right now, it's part of my unboxing station setup. This is another $10 mic from Newer. I wasn't expecting lavalier quality out of this mic, but it does sound better than the Polson VM150. I never used it for my YouTube videos because, like the Polson, when you're recording just dialogue, the sound isn't as clean. But I have used it for carnival events where you're hearing sound from all directions, but you want to record sound coming from one direction. At this task, it works great for $10. This was another cheap mic I found on sale on Amazon for about 15 bucks. I use this mostly with my iPhone, which I originally used to shoot unboxing videos. This paired with my iPhone was by far my favorite setup, mainly because the audio came out really good. It was also portable to pack up and shoot on location. All I needed was my Osmo phone gimbal, this mic, and my iPhone, and I was good to go. I also used this for a couple of videos shot with my Canon 70D. The internal amp on that camera is garbage, so I wasn't impressed with the audio. It does not sound the same as it does on my iPhone. That's the problem with these standalone lavalier mics. If your equipment has a crappy amp, you're going to get crappy audio. I wanted to use the PowerDevice mic, but increase its usability regardless what camera equipment I was using. My company gave me a $150 gift card for Office Depot, and Office Depot had this Zoom H1 recorder for 99 bucks, so I used the gift card on this recorder. With the Zoom mic, I can use multiple cameras to record videos, but have one audio track for all of my videos recorded. And this was the setup I used for most of my later videos shot between 2021 and 2022. The Zoom recorder is a little bulky in my pocket, but the sound quality, it's worth it. I also use the Yeti to record a voiceover on my later videos. Now that I've had quite a lot of experience with video editing, I'm more comfortable with doing voiceover work. Not to mention, it's a lot easier than I thought it would be. Again, I use this setup quite a lot with my recent videos. Sometimes I'll use a combination of the Zoom recorder and Yeti for voiceover. Unfortunately, for best results, you have to use the USB port and a PC for the Yeti. I've tried to use the headphone port to port audio over to my camera's line-in jack, but the sound becomes degraded. So looking to take my audio to the next level, I purchased this Deity shotgun mic, and I designed this corner of my office as a set for upcoming videos. Part of that setup was using the Deity mic on a mic boom. Unfortunately, my XA10 and 70D do not work with the Deity mic. When you plug it into those devices, all you get is a hum. However, the Deity does work with my Zoom recorder. So the plan is to start recording audio from the Deity mic to the Zoom recorder, just like when I used the Zoom recorder with my PowerDevice lavalier mic. Although this is the first video recorded with this setup, during my testing, this mic setup was by far the best. There's no lavalier mic that can be seen on my shirt. There's no wires running inside my shirt. It's just clean looking video with amazing audio. And the Deity mic is the more popular choice among YouTubers. So from this point on, all audio will be recorded using the DJI Mic. Just a reminder, none of the audio in this video was edited. I could have edited the audio and made it a lot cleaner than it actually sounds, but I wanted to give you a raw example of what you can expect if you plugged and played with these mics, because I'll be honest with you,
I did research on some of these mics that I purchased. I watched a lot of YouTube videos on them. And one of the biggest issues I encountered were that a lot of YouTubers reviewing these various mics did not disclose that their audio was modified. So one who's not comfortable with editing their audio could look at their video and assume they would get the same type of audio right out of the box. I wanted to avoid that, so all audio is raw and untouched. In the event you wanted to go with a cheaper mic featured in this video because, you know, the audio sounded good to you. Because $329 is a tough pill to swallow. But I'll rank all the mics up for you at the end. So the first thing I fell in love with is how small and portable this mic system is. I no longer need a mic bag with various XLR and 3.5mm cables, extra batteries, extension cables, etc. Everything I could ever need is in this small little box. The only cable I'll probably need to carry is this 3.5mm male-to-male connector that came with the mic. So this little box replaces this bag and everything in it. Another thing I love about this mic set is how well it works with everything I threw at it. I tested it with sound systems, a first gen DJI Osmo Mini, Canon 70D, Galaxy Tab 7 Plus, iPhone 6s, iPhone 11, Galaxy Z Fold 3, a portable Bluetooth speaker with auxiliary, a TV, Canon XA10, a CD player. I mean, if your device has a lightning port, USB-C, or a mic or auxiliary port, there's a strong chance you'll be able to use this DJI Mic 2 to do various things. The only thing I found not compatible with it is a second gen iPad mini and an Amazon Fire Tablet 10. And I'm fine with that because when will I ever need to use these mics with those devices? The second thing I fell in love with is the range. The range on this thing is crazy good when compared to my Samson UM1. The UM1 range is laughable, completely unacceptable. I don't know if BH Photo shipped me a defective unit, but I kid you not, I stand more than 5 feet away and the audio goes out. With the DJI, I was able to leave a receiver upstairs in the studio and walk all the way to the backyard, which is roughly about 70 feet away. And although the audio went in and out, it stayed connected for the most part. And there were quite a few walls between the transmitter and the DJI receiver.
Here's the speaker, and let's go outside. All right, we're gonna walk down the stairs here. Excuse the mess, excuse the mess. Oops. Walking through the living room. The sliding door right here. Open the sliding door. And then work. On the stage, or my members of my family would be on stage. Whatever, yada yada yada. Reminder. As you can see, the DJI Mic 2 has no problem broadcasting the sound.
So kudos on the range, DJI. I like it. Let's do a walkthrough of the system. In case you didn't know, the case for the mic also doubles as a charger. You know the Apple AirPods? Of course you do. Same concept. You just don't get wireless charging. Believe me, I tried. When you first open the case, everything should turn on. There were times when this didn't happen, but there is a power button on the transmitter and receiver to manually turn on the device. The home screen for the receiver is your transmitter's volumes level. If your transmitter is powered off, the receiver will show you. The receiver will show you the battery level for itself and the transmitter, along with the signal strength between the receiver and the transmitter. Swipe from the bottom to the top over transmitter 1 and you'll see an options for the corresponding transmitter. You can start recording. This means all audio will be recorded to the transmitter's internal memory. You can record up to 14 hours of audio. Just plug the transmitter into your computer and it will open up the transmitter's internal memory where you can drag and drop your recorded files. You never have to worry about deleting your recorded files too, because the transmitter will automatically overwrite old recordings. You can also start recording by pressing the physical record button on transmitter 1. You can mute the transmitter and format the transmitter's internal memory. So if you're the cameraman slash director, this definitely gives you full control over the transmitters through the receiver. And if you swipe from the bottom to top over transmitter 2, you'll pull up the same controls for that transmitter. Swipe from top to bottom and you go into the receiver setting. You can change the recording to mono. Both transmitters will transmit in mono. You have mono with safety track. The transmitter will transmit the sound to the receiver, but also record your audio at -6 decibels onto its internal memory. In the event the audio recorded by the camera has too many clippings, you have a backup recording stored on the transmitter to fall back on. And stereo. One transmitter will record to the right channel while the other will record to the left channel. The next box allows you to change which stereo channel the transmitters record to. Next, you have receiver gain. This allows you to bump up the gain for the receiver in the event your audio is too low. If it's too high, you can turn it down as well. Next is the headphone volume. If you have a headphone connected to the receiver to monitor the audio levels, you can turn the volume up or down to suit your needs. If you plugged your transmitter into a speaker with an amp using the line out port and the audio is too low, try using the headphone port and turn up the headphone volume. The next setting is your transmitter settings. In the transmitter setting, you can turn the low cut on and off. Any sound 150 Hz and lower will be filtered with this on. You can turn up or down the gain for each transmitter. You can lock the record button on the transmitters. You can record by pressing the button, but when you push it again, it won't stop recording. You'll need to stop the recording using the receiver. You have an auto record. Turn this on, and every time you pull the transmitter out of the charging case, it will start recording automatically. Next is vibration notification on the transmitters. You can turn it on or off. LED brightness for the transmitters. That's to control the green power and the red recording light's brightness. And then you have settings. Here you can link devices if they ever lose connection, control the brightness of the screen on the receiver, change your language, set date and time so your recorded audio will have a date and time stamp, factory reset your receiver, software version and serial numbers of all devices, and view compliance info. On the side of the receiver, you have audio out. You can use the included male-to-male 3.5mm wire and connect this port to your camera's mic port. You have a headphone jack so you can monitor your sound. Cool, but if your camera offers an audio monitor, use that instead. When I use the DJI transmitters to monitor sound, it showed the levels as good, but my recorded audio from the camera had a lot of clippings. I double checked the camera audio monitor and sure enough, it was showing that the audio was clipping with the DJI mic. The remedy was to lower the gain on the transmitters. On the other side of the receiver, you have a power button and a USB Type-C for standalone charging and using your DJI mic with a VC. On the bottom, you have the contacts so it can charge in the case, and the expansion port so you can connect the receiver to your compatible smartphone or use the hot shoe adapter so you can attach it to your camera's shoe mount. On the transmitter, starting from the top, you have the green power LED, the mic, a 3.5 TRS input for external microphones, and a red LED for recording alerts. On the side, you have a link button. This allows you to link the transmitter to your receiver, but also allow you to start your phone's video recording when using the receiver on a mobile phone that supports start-stop recording with your phone's volume button. You also have a record button so you can record audio directly to the transmitter's internal memory. On the other side, you have a USB Type-C for charging and pulling the audio files off of your transmitter and a power button. On the bottom, you have the contacts for charging in the case, and on the back, you have a shirt clip with a magnet on it. This allows you to either clip the transmitter on your shirt or use the magnet. The bottom is also magnetic so you can attach the mic to a metal surface. Let me just say, it feels like DJI thought of everything with this mic system. As stated before, I would have loved to have this back when I started with YouTube in 2014. This is the system I've been searching for. No surprise it's from DJI. At first, I thought it was weird they made a mic, but I'm glad they did because like I said, this tiny system replaces every mic in my audio bag. What's even better is that it works with my current mics like the Deity and newer shotgun mic. It even works with my PowerDWise Lavalier mic from Amazon. I wouldn't use it with the DJI, but it's nice that you could if you wanted to. Because if you have a high quality lavalier mic, you can possibly get better sound than the built-in mics. And here are just some fun little tests I performed with the DJI Mic 2.
With this setup, I have my Deity mic, the DJI Mic 2 modules connected to my 70D. And one of the cool parts is that it's wireless. So like this camera can be a good distance away, and I can just connect it to the mic. I won't have to worry about this rat's nest. This is a 3.5 millimeter extension. I think it's like 25 foot, 30 foot, but it's constantly getting tangled, and I have it disconnected. It is not connected. The Deity mic is connected directly to the DJI module. All right, so I got one mic connected to this TV, and I got one mic on my shirt. Receiver is connected to the camera. In this scenario, suppose I'm giving a presentation and I'm gonna play a video on the TV, but I'm recording my presentation and I want the sound from the TV to be recorded as well. And the nice thing about this setup is that I can give my presentation and then I can also play the video, and when I start to play the video, the sound will be recorded by the camera. I can raise the volume. Captured the same feeling I had when I unboxed and started to use my iPhone 4 for the very first time. And just for giggles, if you wanted to, I don't know, wirelessly broadcast this to a sound system, my mic is still on, so that's what the feedback is, but there you go. And I wanted to take it back a little bit and use an iPhone 6s to see if it will work with the DJI Mic 2. And this is the DJI Mic 2 on an iPhone 11. This is how it sounds. So this is the DJI Mic 2 on the Galaxy Z Fold. This is how the audio sounds. I'm outside, it's kind of windy. Very bright too. All right, so now we're picking up speed here on the highway. I'm talking using the DJI Mic 2 on my Osmo Mini. Another thing worth mentioning is that if you use this with the older Osmo, the first generation Osmo Mini, you will need to use the USB Type-C to mic, 3.5 millimeter mic adapter. You will need to use that. You can't just plug the DJI Mic 2 into the Osmo. It won't work. All right, so I got the DJI connected to my Samsung Galaxy Tab 7 Plus, and I'm hosting a conference call in Google Meets. And this is the sound quality that you can expect if you were going to do a conference call and use the DJI mic. It sounds really good.
So here are my thoughts. My first choice is, no surprise, the DJI mic. The DJI Mic 2 is excellent, although it might seem expensive. I did some digging around to compare it to my Samsung UM1 kit. It's been a while, so I don't remember how much I paid, but I do remember it was more than $100. Using the Wayback Machine, I hunted down the listing for the UM1 on B&H website from 2014, which is the year I purchased the UM1 kit. The UM1 kit was retailing for $315 at the time. The DJI Mic 2 retails for $329, which is not a huge difference. And remember, you're getting a lot more with the DJI. You don't need to worry about batteries. You get two portable transmitters with built-in mics, and the DJI is super portable and very easy to use and works with almost all types of DSLR cameras, video cameras, computers, action cameras, phones, and PA system. It's the only mic that I have that will work with a modern Android or Apple device. And one out of the two mics I have, the other is a CR88, that works great with a PA system for big events. And again, two transmitters mean great audio for both you and your guests. Apart from all that, even if you find that the DJI is not compatible with your equipment, it also doubles as a standalone recorder, so you can later sync the audio to your video using your video editing program. Think of it as a mic system like the UM1, but with a built-in zoom recorder. My second choice would be the Deity V-Mic D3. Coming in at $139 on Amazon, you get really crisp and clean audio. And you wouldn't believe how much of your favorite YouTubers use it. I know a lot of mine do. And for good reason. It has a built-in rechargeable battery, works with most DSLR and video cameras, and is pretty simple to use. My only issue is that for me, it does not work with my XA10 for whatever reason, but works with my Canon 70D. If you have a Canon camcorder similar to the XA10, you might experience the same issue. And the only way around that would be to use an external recorder. Also keep in mind, with shotgun mics, they do have to be right above you in order to capture clean audio. If it's too far back, you will have to turn up the gain, and doing that introduces more background noise. My third and final choice would be the PowerDY's lavalier mic paired with the Zoom recorder. The Zoom H1N costs $100 while the lavalier mic costs about 40 bucks. So at the end of the day, you're out $140, same price as the Deity mic. But the flexibility with this setup is excellent. Just keep in mind that it won't be plug and play like the DJI and Deity mic. You will have to sync your audio tracks with your videos in your video editing program. So there is a learning curve. But if you are already familiar with doing this and you don't really have guests in your videos, this is a low-cost solution that will give you great sounding audio with no limitations in terms of how far you can be away from the camera. And that does it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you found it helpful. Be sure to share it with someone you know struggling with audio. Subscribe, thumbs up or down, and hit that bell icon for more videos like these. Look forward to catching you in the next one. Cuídate, mi amigo.